it gives me, well, I guess has given me something to look forward to. For one, when we were working on Circus of Worldly Wonders and also the film project in Griffith Park, that was 6-7 weeks. It was something to break up the monotony of working 40-50 hour weeks entirely. I'm self-employed, so I have not many social interactions, so that's been that in and of itself has helped to, I think, maintain a sense of normalcy during the pandemic for me, and also remaining connected. I'm just happy that despite being in lockdown and living our lives like so much at home, that we've been able to accomplish what we've been able to accomplish. And there's a lot of reasons actually why it's become important to me, even though I just joined in this past January. I got really excited when I saw Sweet Sorrow last October for the first time. I didn't know the company even existed until Jamie, one of the company members, handed me the Sweet Sorrow flyer in class one day before the show, and I'm like, wow, Sami Ballet, how cool is this? I wanted to check it out, and I checked it out, and it turned out that, unbeknownst to me, the company was open to auditions, or intentions as they call them. So I like that. I wish there were more companies like LPBC, because I think that the mission Ballet for Everyone, I think it's important I consider it important for the dance community. It means, well, inclusivity, it means a lot of different things. The ballet world, like Lee has said, in her interviews, the ballet world is not known for its inclusivity. There's, the pressure to, be thin, to be a this or a that, or, any kind of ism any of the ugly isms that, we don't like. And I like that, for everyone, it means inclusivity for the dancers as well as for the audience. And the year 2020, in this modern day and age, I wonder, how many people, what does the ballet fan world look like these days? Like, how much appreciation is there for, classical ballet? LBBC, I think what's cool about it is Lee, her stories are original stories, and the dances themselves, their original choreography. So I haven't been at the company for very long, but I think that LPBC has performed the classics in addition to some of these modern originals that Lee has come up with, including Sweet Sorrow. Kind of an interesting spin on the classic Romeo and Juliet, spin off of the classic Romeo and Juliet character. Gosh, it's kind of one of those topics that I could write a lot of pages about it, talk a lot about it, what it means. But I think that inclusivity, as far as there's no upper age limit for who can belong. There's no pressure to look a certain way, to have a certain body shape. It's open to all ages and levels. So, it's not necessarily about, there's more to being a performer, a good dancer that people enjoy watching, than just technique or, looking a certain ideal, I guess. All dance studios are still pretty much closed or, severely restricted in Los Angeles County for good reason. So I'm not sure how many dance companies as a whole have managed to keep up their routine, like it seems like LBPC has. It's helped me during quarantine by keeping me physically moving. It's given me the motivation. I think a lot of it is, in the beginning especially, back in March, April, when we were first all getting used to this way of living in quarantine, I was, there's this tiny, rug-filled apartment that isn't great for dancing, and it was overwhelming, for one to, find ourselves in this situation, and then secondly to develop a routine, to adapt to this new way of living. So LPBC, I think they've given me the motivation to keep going. And I think that's what it boils down to. Motivation for me, community. Don't get discouraged by, be creative. Don't get discouraged by, if you're feeling bogged down or, just down in general by being, in quarantine and isolation. Get creative. Remember why you dance in the first place. I think for me personally, it's like being home. That's the best. That's, for lack of a better word, home, is the word that I would describe it. If dancing is your medicine, your, I guess, spiritual and physical medicine, which it's become for me, don't give that up. Even if you do some pliés, next to a chair. I guess there's, as far as the dancing world, there's, people talk about competition, right? It can be a competitive world. I was lucky enough when I was younger to I took a workshop with some, I forget which company they performed at, but this was in Virginia, and they're professional dancers, and even they told me I wouldn't recommend you do what I do for a living. They talked about throwing up, in order to maintain their weight and all this other, this other sort of stuff that I guess the dance world has become notorious for. Don't let things like that discourage you.